TxStampin, Sharon. I know that it's hot outside, but I have got to share some snowflake cards with you. I think you're gonna love these, especially the paper saving tip that I'm going to give you for your printed papers or your designer series papers. If you currently already don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I'd be happy to send you a new holiday mini catalog if you live in the United States. So you can contact me below. Just click on that read more button and find out how to go to my blog to contact me. Let's get started. On today's video, I want to introduce you to one of our suites that's in the new holiday catalog that launched August the 4th of 2020. The suite is called Snowflake Splendor. And when I got it, I was just like, oh, I just love all the snowflakes. I love the colors. They're unique. We've got Highland Heather, Pool Party, Coastal Cabana, Balmy Blue, Pacific Point, Misty Moonlight, and Night of Navy. So all of our blue hues and some purples. But when I got the actual stamp set, I was thrilled to see that it's not just for Christmas. I'll show you. So I want to introduce you to the papers, the embossing folder, the beautiful balmy blue glimmer paper, the blue adhesive backed gems, and the Snowflake Splendor ribbon. So here's the papers. Can you see the purples and the blues? I mean, just so pretty. You will get 2 sheets that of course are double-sided, that are very unique colors, but I just love the watercolor look and the changes of the colors. So I think you'll love this paper, especially when I show you a paper saving tip. You know, we have designer series paper. I know I'm not the only one. We hate to cut a big chunk out of it because we're gonna run out. So let's make the best use of those big chunks like we're gonna do on today's video. Look at that balmy blue glimmer paper. Absolutely stunning. I liked this paper because it's not quite as thick as some of our other glimmer papers have been. So it makes cutting with the dies very easy. I'm going to show you a card I did using this. So here is the Snowflake Wishes and the coordinating dies. When you purchase just the bundle, of course, you save 10%. So when I talked about the different stamp sets, yes, this one says Snowflake Wishes for a Merry Christmas, but our friendship is one of a kind, like a snowflake. Thank you so much. Love that. How about Happy Hanukkah? How about May Your Season Sparkle? So yes, that could be, both of those be Christmas. But in this one, it says, in the coldest moments of the year, my heart is warm because you're near. Okay, that can be January, February, November in some parts of the country. And look at these gems. Oh my word. I'm sure that it doesn't do justice, but on this side, they're more of a iridescent kind of color, where on this side, they're more of a balmy blue. Super pretty. And then how about that iridescent ribbon? Oh, I hope you can see it. Very sparkly, very fun. So here's the embossing folder. Can you see all the different shapes of snowflakes? Super pretty. Now, normally I show you my cards at the end. However, the biggest thing about this video is showing you how to save that designer series paper. So how about some embossed white snowflakes with thank you so much? Super simple. 1 layer of Night of Navy. I did use the stitch shape dies to just give me a little square. I can crank out a lot of these. So fun. And how about this one? Our friendship is one of a kind. I could barely see some of the purple, some of the Highland Heather, so I pulled in Highland Heather for part of that. And then this is the Baker's Twine from the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. And then there's those faceted gems, those beautiful balmy blue gems. Okay, see that glimmer? See that sparkle? I just cut it out at an angle, and at first I was like, I don't know if I like it, but I do. It almost looks like a gift tag. May your season sparkle. It does. And then I embossed a piece of balmy blue with the embossing folder. How about this card? Snowflake Wishes for Merry Christmas. This is going to be an easy Christmas card for you to make multiples of. Let's get started. I have a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. That will be our card base. I have a piece of Designer Series paper that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have a scrap piece of Whisper White. And I've already cut out 2 snowflakes. Okay, you can pick any size you want out of Whisper White. So I'm gonna take my paper trimmer and I'm gonna open it up. By the way, I get calls all the time about this paper trimmer, so let's just review something. This paper trimmer locks in place, this arm locks in place so that if you carried it around, it wouldn't break. You need to pull up on either end to open it because it does lock. If you try to open it here, it's harder to do. It can be done, but it's harder to do. So we just want to open it up at the end. Our hands are already at the bottom anyway, so just open it up. All right, so we're going to put this in, and I'm using the 1-inch guide over here, and then I'm going to use the 1-inch mark that's on this part of my arm, and I'm going to cut up to, because my paper is 5 1/4, right? I'm going to cut up to 4 1/4. Trying not to get my head in the camera. And then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to line it up with that 1-inch mark again on this side. I'm going to bring this back down to the 1-inch mark. My paper is 4 inches, right? So I'm already 1 inch into it. I want to come 1 inch from the top. So I want to go up here to 3 inches. I'm trying to do it so you could see, but I don't think that's possible. All right. Turning it again, we're going to come back down to the 1-inch mark, and we're going to go up to 4 1/4. I turn it one more time, and then we're going to come back down to the 1-inch mark and go up to the 3-inch mark. We were off just a tad, but there you go. If you're off just a tad, then just take your snips and meet it. See, it was just a little bit. All right, so let's keep going. So remember, I told you I had a piece of Whisper White. When I wanted to teach you how I came up with the mat for that, because my paper, my Designer Series paper measures, let's make sure we're in the camera, hold on. My Designer Series paper measures right at 2 inches and then by 3 1/4. So I want a piece of Whisper White mat that is 2 1/4, a 1/4 inch bigger than my Designer Series paper. And then I said that my Designer Series paper was 3 1/4, so I want 3 1/2. Okay, so I have my heat tool, I have my white emboss powder, I have my stamp, and I have my Versamark pad. Stampin' Up! Does not sell the little white emboss buddies anymore, but if you Google it, you can find them. But we all have laundry sheets, dryer sheets in our laundry room. You just want to make sure that you get the static out of your Designer Series paper or your cardstock. So I'm just rubbing that and getting that out because this gets the static out of our clothes, right? All right, next we're gonna stamp our sentiment. Closing up that Versamark pad so we don't get embossing powder in it. I like to use a little foil covered cutting board to kind of deflect the heat, but also to protect my work surface. Bringing all my pieces back in, we're ready to assemble our card. And the first thing I want to do is I want to add some adhesive to the back. I'm still learning how to use our new Stampin' Seal, and I want to keep trying because I love it. I don't have to use very much, but I do find that I get a little bit of goo on my fingers when I try to help push it through. So we're just going to add our little frame here. Okay, so remember our Whisper White layer and our Designer Series paper. We want to, this is the back side, so we want to add some adhesive to the back. And then we're going to add it to our Whisper White layer. Next, we're going to add some dimensionals. And we're going to add this layer right here, covering up that hole. Now we've given it a whole new look with it being popped up, and it just kind of separates because of the white layer. I'm going to pull in my silicone mat that I love. And I even sold this on my husband yesterday because he was using Gorilla Glue. And I was like, wait, I'll show you how to do this so you don't make a mess on my kitchen counter. I said, I sell that, by the way, if you'd like to purchase one. He just looked at me like, don't you think we have spent enough on this stuff? Anyway, we're just going to add our snowflakes to our card front. Just a few drops. Super cute, isn't it? I loved this paper saving trick. Now this card right here is cut out of another piece, but see the difference? This is a darker blue, and then it just kind of gets more subtle. So I sure hope I have inspired you with my cards today, and just to know the different ways you can use it, and you can use it for a longer season than just Christmas or Hanukkah. So I loved that part. So happy stamping, y'all.